Hello everybody, my name is Antoan Popov, I am a software architect and I have been working with MentorMate for the past 3.5 years. Today's topic is progressive web apps or PWAs, and before we start, let's first clear one thing. PWAs are just like guinea pigs, which are not from Guinea, neither pigs, meaning that PWAs are actually not really apps and not so progressive, yet. In reality, they are just like normal websites, but they do use the newest features from the browsers, like push notifications or service workers, in order to provide app-like experience from within the mobile browser. They can be launched from your phone's home screen, load in a split of a second, or even be made to work offline. Funny enough, Apple are actually the guys who introduced this idea of websites or web apps that can run and use native features over 14 years ago, but they seem to have forgotten about it or given up the idea, and now actually Google is the driving force behind it. One of the main features of PWAs is adding to home screen. If you're on an Android device and open a PWA website, you will see a banner pop up on your bottom of your screen saying, hey, do you want to add this website to your home screen? And if you do agree to that, an icon will appear on your phone. And if you click on it, the PWA will start with a splash screen just like a regular mobile app in an isolated web browser that has no navigation bar. You will not be able to have multiple tabs, see the URL or go back and forth between pages, but this actually means that you can make the website look and behave much more like a native app. PWAs also allow you to engage with your users through push notifications. Even though they're essentially websites, they do have access to that service and you will be able to send notifications to your users, like an example, hey, you have 3 items in your shopping cart, come back and finish your order. Or an example, if you don't want to download the Twitter app, you can go to their website and save it to your home screen. And it will actually function almost the same way like their native app, and you will still get notified whenever somebody comments on your tweets or tags you somewhere. Speaking of downloading PWAs, this is one more of their benefits. They're much lighter than native apps and easier to install. Having Twitter as an example, their native app is a little bit over 15 megabytes and their PWA is actually 1.3 megabytes, which is 97% smaller. And believe it or not, this actually led to 75% more tweets. Overall, companies that have launched progressive web apps have seen impressive results. For example, Forbes got 43% more sessions per user and 100% more engagement. Pinterest got 40% boost in spend time by users and 44% gain in user-generated ad revenue. Alibaba and AliExpress boosted their conversion rate of new users by over 80% and doubled the pages visited per session. And even apps like Tinder got much more engagement after they have reduced their loading times from 12 to 4 seconds by reducing their bundle size over 90%. And how are these amazing results possible, you might ask? Well, a lot of it boils down to the fact that PWAs provide much better user experience than traditional websites, and great business results flow from that. Nowadays, users expect instantaneous loading. If something doesn't load in the heartbeat, they might lose interest, perhaps forever. So why are progressive web apps so fast? All of that is thanks to the amazing service workers. They allow the developers to explicitly define which files of the PWA the browser should store locally in its cache and under what circumstances it should check for updates of those files. Files that are stored locally can be accessed much faster than those that have to be retrieved over the internet. In abstract, PWAs can work offline or in poor network conditions. Send push notifications to the device's lock screen, which sadly, at least for now, works only for Android. Use animations just like native apps and can have access to the device's hardware features like camera and GPS. And last but not least, can be installed to the device's home screen just like native apps. And now let us conclude the talk with some points whether you need a progressive web app or not. You should probably go for a native app if you are making games or if you need very secure apps that require biometric authentication. Or if your app heavily relies on features like Bluetooth, gyroscope and so on. Or if you need fully featured cross-device push notifications and if you have monetization features like subscriptions or in-app purchases and similar. On the other hand, you should definitely go for a PWA if you are tight on the budget or if you already have a website, since you will just have to enhance it with the newest features like service workers or push notifications or offline capabilities. Or if you have news or e-commerce platform that has content which is updated regularly, if you want much better user experience than just plain responsive website. If you don't need heavy integration with the hardware of the device. And of course, if you can live without push notifications on iOS. For now. That's all from me on this topic and I hope it was helpful for you. See ya!